when people are driving outside of Chicago and they're driving into the countryside, what are the seasonal, just real high level summary? Right now it's April, almost April 1st. At the time of shooting this podcast.
Sure.
So what are people doing now? You're out driving, you see giant equipment out there.
Yeah.
What are they doing now? Is there anything they do in the summer? What do they do in the fall? And then what happens in the winter? What are these cyclical kind of high level just trends of behavior out on the farms, on the fields that people see as they drive around the states that are in the Midwest? What's going on?
Yeah. So, you see harvest season is a fairly narrow window. Planting season is a fairly narrow window, right? And people kind of wonder well, if this farmer's working like a month out of the year on these two operations or 2 months, like what does he do the other 10 months, right? So a lot of the things
that's where rodeos and roping and riding and cowboying and hunting and that's where all that stuff happens. Come on, man. Yeah. No, so start with planting, like spring.
So planting,
what happens in the spring?
Right now, people will start planting. Like we're actually getting some spring planters and stuff ready, depending on where they're planting. Like end of March, people will start planting, go into like May, right? It depends because we support stuff that goes all the way down to Arizona, that goes to other areas, right? They'll plant it all into July, like in Arizona. But for the Midwest, it's like March, April. People will try to find a window to do their planting in within a couple of weeks, depending on their operation. So before that, people will do some tilling, right? You might randomly see tilling equipment going through a field. I think I saw that already
a little bit.
Yeah, so people will prepare the bed for tilling, and there's more there a little bit. Iowa in general has gone more towards a no-till. So like if you garden at home, this became a trend too of like not tilling, because when you till, you open up the earth and a lot more nutrients come out and leave the earth. So you'll see now a lot of people would ask about this, like how come right after they harvest, I start to see like grass in the field, like what people will plant. It's called a cover crop. So actually planting something on the ground will prevent erosion. It'll help lock those nutrients into the ground more. And then when that crop decays and withers, it adds nutrients to the ground, right? And then the net gain is more than the net cost to do that.
Okay.
So you'll see some like grass. You'll be like, man, are those weeds, or did somebody go and plant grass in the whole field? What a waste of time that is, you know?
Right.
So that's kind of part of this preserving nutrients in the ground. So you'll see like before planting, people will till again to get the ground kind of ready. If they do a till operation, if they don't, they'll just plant with no till. And then from planting time, stuff starts to emerge. You see obviously a lot of corn and soybeans in the Midwest. An easy way to think of it too, people say, is like knee high by the 4th of July, right? You'll start to see corn like at knee level, and there's different periods within there that people will spray. So you'll see the sprayers going through the fields. You'll still occasionally